Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is a video on why I'm vegan. I'd just like to start by saying that I take supplements every day. I'm very, aware that I am missing out on a lot of nutrients with a restricted diet like this. But yeah, so just to get rid of any concerns. So I am vegan. I do have cheat days. There are things that sometimes I'll eat that aren't vegan. I'm not strict with it, and I'm not saying that anybody else should take up my lifestyle. I'm just explaining why I am vegan. So to start with, oh, and I do eat eggs actually. If they are, from local farms that are, petting farms or local people's pets, when you drive by and you can see the chickens having a great time, and then there's like £2 for a thing of eggs. That's the sort of eggs that I eat, just because I know that those eggs, the chickens are looked after, they're loved and appreciated and things like that. So I do eat those kinds of eggs. I also find that they taste nicer. I don't know if that's like a psychological thing, but yeah. So I don't eat eggs very often though. Usually just, it's very seasonal thing, as well as like I live with someone else who is a vegan and she does not eat eggs. I also eat honey, but again, same situation, from well looked after bees. So I am lactose intolerant, so I don't have to drink like almond or oat milk, but I have found in general it's cheaper than drinking lactose free milk, and I don't like the taste of milk, so I choose to have alternative milks over lactose free, as well as in a pinch I would drink it, but I don't like, you see the videos of the cows and things and they're not being treated very well, and I don't like the process where they impregnate a cow, they take the calf and then they keep her lactating. I think that's cruel, and so yeah, technically I could choose to have milk without the lactose in it, but I would prefer, both morally and economically, to have almond or oat milk. Oat milk is my preferred. With butters and things, I have found that they do make me ill if they're not, a vegan or vegetarian option. And I am vegetarian and have been most of my life. We'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, with butter as well, I tend to have it be vegetarian, and there are so vegan even then. There are so many options these days. There didn't used to be, but there are now, which is awesome. So I have been vegetarian since I was 4. My mother has been on and off vegetarian her entire life by the sounds of it, but has always fell prey to a bacon sandwich. That's not a problem I personally face, and as far as I know, obviously it's possible that I've consumed something by accident, but as far as I know, for the last 12 years I have not consumed any kind of meat product, not purposefully at any rate. So I think when I said, I want to be vegetarian at 4, she thought, okay, great, cool, someone to keep me on track. Hopefully this way I won't break it, and if she breaks it, then, sort of situation. I initially didn't like the concept of, it was around Easter and we had been lambing. This is such a tangenty video. We had been lambing because we lived in quite a rural area, and we had had cuddles with the baby lambs, and then we'd gone home and had a lamb dinner, and I had said, "Mummy, what's lamb?" Lamb is the cuddly thing you were just holding and stroking and thought was adorable, which led to me saying, hang on a minute, what's chicken then? And that led on to the whole situation, and I, the concept of the thing that I am eating is also this living creature, or it was this living creature. That was the initial thing that stopped me from wanting to eat it. And then as I grew up, I learned more and more about like the meat industry and how it's not great, and just the idea of this thing was alive now and putting it into my body just really freaks me out. I don't know why, it's just a weird thing. So there's that on top of it. I was pescatarian for a while. My mum did want me to be pescatarian, but I'm gonna sneeze. I did not like the idea of eating fish, so I stopped. Basically, there wasn't any conversation about it. It was just that I would make other choices, and if there was something with fish in it that she would have made, I would eat it, but be very clearly reluctant to eat it, and sometimes like pick around it. So yeah, as far as sweets and things, I didn't understand the concept of gelatin until I was significantly older, but I wasn't a fan of Haribos or anything like that. I think the last thing to go was Mawams. I do really like Mawams and marshmallows, because I didn't understand that they were pig or cow bone or whatever it is. But yeah, so actual meat I stopped eating when I was 4. I think I was around 8, maybe 7, when I stopped eating fish, but I had, you know, cut right back with it. And then maybe 11 when I started getting the concept of gelatin and started asking, you know, what's in this? Has this got gelatin in it? So yeah, so I was consuming gelatin until quite later on, you know, being a preteen, but simply because I didn't understand what it was more than I was choosing to eat it. I just didn't have the knowledge around it. So yeah, that's basically why I'm vegan. As far as wool and leather go, wool I do, you know, I'm quite happy to wear. I understand that we have bred sheep to have more wool, but at the same time, if you don't shear them of the wool, then they will, you know, they will be very cold. And if, not very cold, they'll be very hot, way too hot. And it stops me from being cold. So I don't mind consuming wool at all. Leather, I'm a bit more iffy about. Shoes, I've sort of just, you know, you don't really get a good pair of shoes unless they're leather. And if you know, you buy good, hopefully you buy less, which helps with like carbon footprint and all that. So I do consume leather shoes. If I'm given as a gift something that is leather that I enjoy, a bag or a jacket, I will wear it if I like it. If not, I will, you know, pass it on. But I do try and avoid leather products and things. But yeah, in some cases the non-leather alternative just isn't as good. And with something like, I have purchased Doc Martens. I think they're the vegan ones though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the vegan Doc Martens, and I know my Doc Martens bag is vegan. But my New Rocks are not vegan. But I pay quite a lot of money for them, so I know that they will, so long as my feet don't grow, last me my entire life, and they were something I really wanted. So I'm not, you know, really strict with what I consume. It's more of like in moderation as far as leather goes, and then as far as like food and things go, it's being lactose intolerant and being unable to actually consume dairy products a lot of the time, and morals. But I think as far as dairy goes, morals come second, and first and foremost it is the inability to consume lactose. I know there are some cheeses and things that don't have lactose in them, but I've still found that they set me off. I don't know if that's a psychological thing or what, but yeah. So that is why I am vegan. I'm also on a spinny chair and the angle's bad because you're balanced against a bunch of stuff. But yeah, that is why I'm vegan. And I wouldn't recommend my choices. I would say, you know, it's very limiting, especially for someone who's as young as I am, still growing and things. But I would say, you know, look into what you're consuming and then make your own decision, whether that's cut back or cut out or what have you. Live your life, be happy, be healthy. That's it, pretty much. So yeah, see you in the next one.